Hi, this is Mitty38. A couple fellows I know was asking me, what do you need to do to cast? What all kind of stuff do you need? And I'm setting up on this nice, beautiful day here in Ohio in November. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's like 65, 66 degrees. So, yeah, beautiful day. And I'm sorry for all you other guys that live in those states where you got snow right now. Um, anyhow, I'm setting up to cast on the porch. You don't need a whole lot. You don't need a designated area or anything like that. You just need the stuff and have to have a place, have enough common sense to set up in a place where you have ventilation because it does stink. Okay, so we're out on the porch today, and yeah, you definitely don't want to be doing this on your kitchen stove and waking up your wife with the smell of metal burning, and have lead all over your stove to get in your food. So that's not a good idea, guys. Anyway, here's what I have for a basic setup, and I just keep it in a box all together. So I have everything I need. Okay, and basically I have a place to put my bullets, which today I'm just using a cardboard box with shear wool. Now, it ain't gonna burn the cardboard unless like it might scorch it brown, but whatever. That shear wool will not burn. I mean, you could pour molten steel on it; it will not burn. It is made not to do that. Okay, and now you can just wrap up a towel or stuff, but I like this stuff, and I get free remnants of it every once in a while from work, and where they should have small amounts they can't use for nothing. And the next thing we need is a little lube. Yes, lube. What you're gonna have to do is after you pour your first one in your mold, you need to wipe a rag across the top of it with a little lube, and that keeps your plates, from marking up and makes everything run smooth and lubricate your screws and stuff. So, next thing you need is some kind of temperature sensor, some way to tell temperature. I just bought this little cheap thing from Harbor Freight, and as you see, I got a pot warming up right now. It's gets me close enough, and then it's got an average temperature, and that's kind of like what I go by. So it's like, so I get it to read right. So we're somewhere around 600 degrees. You got to get the right. It'll read more accurate once the blood gets more molten. And you need a knocker, and you need a pan under your pot that will take up the lead if the thing starts leaking all over the place, which can happen because you got this little teeny spout in the bottom. Okay, as you can see, this one drips every once in a while. That's because I'm warming this thing up with a full pot of lead that I started to cast one day. Something happened, and I had to shut it down and go handle some things. So, what else do you need? You need a pair of gloves. You also need a pair of long pants and some good shoes because you're gonna sometimes splash this stuff on your legs. Safety glasses, I know, and I use a hot plate. A couple guys turned me on to that. It keeps the keeps the mold warm enough to where you could just pick it up and cast without having to lose a lot of bullets from shrinking and wrinkling when you're casting into a cold mold. It makes things handier because you get this thing set right. You can cast and your arms get tired, or you want to go, get a drink or need to do something real quick. You just lay it down there and it will keep it to the right temp. And the next thing you do is it needs molds, and I got two of them laid out today. What I'm casting today is the infamous 63 grain Elvis, and also some 30 caliber bullets for a friend of mine. And of course, you need a beverage, but to keep that away from where you're going to be splashing any lead, and don't ever touch the rim of it while you're casting and handling lead. Okay, so you just got to use a little common sense there. But also, as you see, I got two pretty good extension cords running. The real heaviest one's going to the Lee pot, and the other one's going to the hot plate. And the reason is, you know, this Lee pot draws like 15 amps straight out. That hot plate draws like 15 amps straight out. So most circuits aren't, or like even if they're 30 amp, they're not really 30 amp for continuous draw. So you're going to have both these going at the same time. So what you want to do is split it up between two circuits in your home. And you should be fine. Any two plugins that are on a different set, and just don't have a bunch of other stuff cranked on in your house that are on the same plugins. So that's basically what I got. And you got to have good heavy extension cords, not cheapos, So I just thought I'd share this with you fellows. And there's a lot of people that's got a lot more interesting stuff out there than me on casting. I just thought I'd show you what I use. Just a basic setup. And like I said, I put it all, in there when I'm done. And except for that pan don't fit, but then the pan goes under it. But hope you guys have a nice day. This is Mitty38, and take it easy, fellas.